Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the simple predicate and the complete predicate. So the simple predicate is just the verb. It is the action being performed in the sentence, okay? And then you have to decide whether the verb is transitive or intransitive. And we're going to be practicing both those today in IXL, okay? So transitive verb takes a direct object, okay? And we're going to talk about direct and indirect objects a little bit later. But basically it answers the question, what? We love English. We love what? English. So English is the direct object. That means that it's a transitive verb. Okay, an intransitive verb does not take a direct object. Please sit down. Please sit what? Or rather, yeah. It doesn't answer that question. Okay, down tells me how I'm supposed to sit. How do I sit? Down. Okay, so if you have like a linking verb or then it's going to be intransitive. If you have a verb that is followed directly by a preposition or a prepositional phrase like down, it's automatically intransitive. And again, we're going to practice that a little bit. So the complete predicate is the rest of the sentence. So once you find the complete subject, the predicate is just everything else. So it's the verb plus any modifiers that it has. So likes is my verb. To bark is an infinitive that tells me what they like doing. And then loudly tells me how they like to bark loudly. Right, so it's just the complete subject, or it's rather the complete predicate plus all of its modifiers. We have our predicate and then everything else. So, and then our subject here would be what likes to bark loudly? The dog, right? So the dog, so dog is my subject. Okay, the dog with spots tells me more about that dog, right? And that's what makes it that complete predicate or complete subject. So here we're going to be looking at a little bit of IXL, and we're going to look at the complete predicate of a sentence first, because that's a little bit easier, and then we'll talk about direct, or rather transitive and intransitive. Okay, the postman sealed the envelope, right? So the action here is sealed. What did he seal? The envelope. Okay, gourds grow well in warm climates. What's my action? Grow. And then what tells me more about how they grow? Well, where in warm climates. Okay. Mrs. Manning's old car stalls almost every day. What does the car do? It stalls when? Almost every day, right? So it's everything else after. So again, if you want to do it, you can do it one of two ways, either finding the verb and then figuring out everything after it, or you can find the simple or the complete subject and then everything else is the predicate, right? So if we're doing the subject, what bounds across the yard? The neighbor's cat, right? So that's my complete subject. So that means that since I'm trying to find the predicate, bounds across the yard. Fireworks do what? They explode. That's my verb. Where? In the night sky. That's my complete predicate. So let's talk about transitive and intransitive. Okay, so these are, we moved into 6th grade. So these are going to be much longer sentences that are a little bit more difficult. And sorry, I'm going to change my recording to my tab. So like I said, these are going to be longer, more difficult sentences. Okay, so during World War I, that's a prepositional phrase, Anne Frank and her family hid for 2 years in the back of an office building on Amsterdam's Prinsengracht Canal. Okay, so who hid for 2 years in the back of an office building? Anne Frank and her family, right? So this whole thing during World War II, Anne Frank and her family would be my complete subject. Okay. Hid is my verb. It's the action. What are they doing? They're hiding. Okay. Now we have to decide if it's transitive, you're supposed to select its direct object. If it's intransitive, you're just supposed to hit submit. So we have to decide whether this is transitive or intransitive. So Anne Frank and her family hid what? If they had said Anne Frank and her family hid themselves, then we would have a direct object. But because we have a preposition right here for 2 years, we know that hid has to be an intransitive verb. Okay. English actor Daniel Day-Lewis won several major awards for his principal roles in the film Lincoln. Okay, so he won. Daniel Day-Lewis won what? Several major awards. It has a direct object because this is a transitive verb. This Mexican restaurant serves tacos with generous portions of halibut, cabbage, and salsa. So, serves is my action. This Mexican restaurant serves what? Tacos. Okay, and then if I was doing the complete predicate, right, it'd be serves, tacos, and then all of this with generous portions of halibut, cabbage, and salsa. Okay, and this Mexican restaurant would be my complete subject. On July 25th, 1911, daredevil Bobby Leach famously plunged over Niagara Falls in a steel barrel. So what did he do? He plunged. okay? And again, we have over, which is a preposition, so that means that this is automatically intransitive, so I don't have to mark anything else. This is just my verb, and it's intransitive. The recovery of the sunken U.S. Central America yielded rare 19th century coins. So normally we would think recovery, right? To recover is a verb, right? But the recovery here is a noun, okay? So it yielded, okay? The sunken SS Central America yielded what? Rare 19th century coins. So this one is transitive, right? What did it yield? Coins. The master sushi chef carefully filleted the tuna for the delectable sushi roll, okay? So what's he doing? He's filleting, that's my verb. What did he fillet? The tuna, direct object, right? So this is a transitive verb. The black widow spider, one of the most venomous in North America, frequently builds webs around wood piles, fences, and areas with accumulated debris. So what is the spider doing? It's building. That's my verb. Okay, so then I have to decide, is it transitive or intransitive? So the black widow spider builds what? Webs. So this is a transitive because it has a direct object. Tells me what it's building, webs. One of the most destructive earthquakes in recent history occurred in Kashmir and Pakistan on October 8th, 2005. Okay, so what happened? The earthquake occurred. Occurred is my verb, right? And again, my next word is in, which is a preposition. So I know that it is intransitive, so I don't have to click anything else. Okay. Just 10 minutes of moderate exercise elevates brain activity. Okay. So what's the action? Am I exercising? No. Exercise here is the noun, right? Elevates is the action. What does moderate exercise elevate? Brain activity. Oh, sorry, brain activity. So that was a transitive verb. The microscopic parasites Sarcoptes scabiei, or itch mites, burrow into the skin of people as well as other animals. Okay, so what do the parasites burrow? No, I can't do that, right? So into, again, it's a preposition. So that means that it is intransitive. So I don't have to click anything else, right? The gravitational force between Jupiter and Io, one of Jupiter's moons, squeezes Io like a rubber ball. Okay, so what's happening? Gravitational force is squeezing. So that's my action. Okay. What does the gravitational force squeeze? Io. It's a transitive verb because we have the direct object of Io. Okay. So this one's a little trickier, I would say, right? So the complete predicate is pretty simple. Transitive and intransitive gets a little bit more complicated. So just kind of bear that in mind and, practice, right? 80 is proficient. So if you get an 80, great. If you want to do a little bit better, also wonderful. But just kind of bear that in mind. And again, ask me questions if you have any. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.